Hey YouTube, here is the AntoriaTelecaster I picked up the other day. Been doing a little bit of research on it and a little bit of fixing on it. This guitar is, if you look up the Ibanez catalogues, this is a 1971. It's a 2352. Ibanez were always good at naming their guitars. You know, where you just get like a big list of numbers. So it's the same guitar. You can tell just by looking at it, same colour, same truss rod cover, all the same parts. And it's in the 71 catalogue right through to the 76 catalogue, so early 70s. Well, to be honest, the Ibanez catalogue page starts at 71, so it could be slightly earlier. They're gone by 77 because by that point Ibanez were making original designs and weren't doing copies anymore. So, from what I've gathered from this, made in Fujigen, early 70s. So we're talking coming up, 45 to 50 years old. Yes. So starting at the top, cool tuners, which I don't know if it really shows here, but they're really thin this way, so they're actually quite nice to use. They don't look. It's got those enclosed type, which don't look like as they should be good, but I mean they've lasted like nearly 50 years and they're fine. So they are good. It's got a multi-laminate neck, so the neck is like 3 pieces of wood, 1, 2, 3, across the way with a separate fingerboard. There's also an extra bit stuck on the edge to make it headstock shape. It's got a really cool Antoria logo on it. So basically this guitar was bought by Antoria, we're an import company based in Leeds in England, and they were basically buying guitars from the same factory, or they're buying the same guitar as Ibanez were buying at the time. So I couldn't actually find any Antoria tellies that look like this, but it's the same as the Ibanez one if you look it up. Full length 38 1/4 inch, body 16 by 3, body depth 2 inch, neck 1 5/8. Finished in ivory with a fancy white pickguard. So it's like a 4-ply pickguard, white, black, white, black. Detachable neck, incorporating adjustable truss rod, maple fingerboard with perloid position markers. The metal parts are heavy chrome plated, entire instrument is mirror polished by hand. Yeah, complete with lead and plush lined carry case. I didn't get the lead or the plush lined carry case. Yeah, and the fret dots are, as I said, perloid, sort of. You can see it there. The top, this one's like black. This one's got a black bit on it. These ones are pearly, and the last one's black. So I assume it's some sort of. I assume if they were pearl, it would say pearl, not perloid. Yeah, so I got this the other day. You saw my Trade Tuesday thing, and as I said, it was dangerous. I might quite like it. And yeah. So we're working our way down. It's got a strange type plate on it, so it's got like a Les Paul type 3-way toggle switch, volume and a tone, and the output jack is on the metal plate, which I like better than when it's on the edge, because when you're playing sitting down, it tends to get in the way. Whereas on the front, totally fine by me. The bridge is pretty cool. It's basically one piece of metal. If you look here, this bit here is I'm worried that stand back a bit. I've moved the mic. It's basically just a piece of the metal plate bent up to take the 3 saddles, which are sort of look like they're made out of angle iron. And then that's kind of it. I think this one, if you look in the picture, it does come with like an ashtray cover. I don't have that though. It'd be pretty easy to change it to like a normal Telecaster bridge, but I kind of like this because it's a bit different looking. The body is mahogany, which I know from looking, because this one, if you saw it before, had someone had cut out a humbucker slot, and you can see they basically chiselled it out. You can see that it's mahogany in the hole. The plan was I was going to try and keep the pickups, but the pickups weren't original and they were rubbish. The neck one didn't work. The middle one was, I don't know where that came from, but the pole pieces came out when you touched them. And the bridge pickup, although it was working, I don't think it was originally a pickup. Is it sitting here? It's lying on the floor somewhere. I think it was half a humbucker someone had made. So I've got some theories about what happened with this guitar. I said the frets were really bad. They weren't. What I think has happened is right? So if you imagine, it's pretty common for the first 3 frets to get worn down from people playing, you know, cowboy chords. So they tend to get worn down. So whoever, a previous owner has had this thought, right, I'm going to refret it, and they've started on the last fret, right? And instead of using the vintage frets, which are normally sort of thin ones, they've used jumbo ones. And what they've done is they've done the first 4 frets and decided, this is really difficult. This is all theory, by the way. This is really difficult. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace the ones that really need replaced and then leave the rest. So the last 4 frets are jumbo and the first 3 frets are jumbo and the rest are original, I think. The reason they looked so bad was, I think what's happened is he's put the new frets in, or she has put the new frets in, and they've obviously been much higher than the existing ones, so that's why they've been filed right down to look like bar magnets. The same with these 3. I have since gone through it and crowned them a fair bit. I've still got some work to do in the last. These ones haven't actually been levelled, so it's a wee bit spanky up here. Basically, once I'd done the electrics, I wanted to get the guitar working. There was even a point where I was actually going to do the electrics and then I've got another telly neck sitting through there for another project. I was just going to stick that temporarily on it so I could try it. So if I don't, what did I do with that? Hold on 2 seconds. Okay, I've lost it. I had a Telecaster scratch plate. It was black, but the plan was I was going to replace the scratch plate. But a telly plate doesn't quite fit, so I would need to have cut it round about here to make it fit, 'cause it can't be exact Telecaster size. The problem being, see this bit here? A telly one actually stops about here, so if I did use a telly plate and cut it to size, you would have still seen the big hole where the humbucker was. So rather than doing that, I decided, right, I'll just stick a humbucker in the hole to cover it up. I've kind of put this is actually an Ibanez pickup. I know that because I wrote Ibanez on it when I took it out. I think it might be from my pal's GAX. So it's quite a vintage voiced one. And also it was one that fitted this cool cover. So I've got like a structural, and the scratch plate was split, so I glued that. Glued this metal pickup ring on the top, and it's actually screwed into the body, so this is super solid. As I said, the pickups were dead. These pickups are from Fender Duosonic, so they're opposite wind, so it's hum cancelling the middle position. I couldn't use a telly pickup because it doesn't fit inside this bridge. I did use the metal brass plate, which was from the pickup that I took out. I don't think the pickup that I took out was the original, but I think the brass back plate was. So that's how it's held in, with the 3 screws. But this doesn't actually, a telly pickup doesn't fit in here, so that's why I didn't do it. So I thought, I've been looking for something to use these Duosonic pickups in for ages. So there you go, they're used. And then, as I said, humbucker in the middle. So I'm actually quite, this is a type of wiring I've never seen done before. So if you just use it up with a 3-way switch, you've got bridge pickup, playing through my Laney, through that cabinet, no pedals. Neck pickup. Both on. I'm going to do a wee bit more fretwork on it just to get it perfect. It's still a little bit spanky. I just wanted to get it working so I could play it, basically. It's not bad, but it could be better. Yeah, so I'm not really sure how you're meant to wire in a humbucker in the middle position. It's only got, I didn't want to be putting any more switches and stuff in, so I wanted to keep it clean. So basically what you've got just now is a Telecaster. The way it was wired before, even though it didn't work, was the middle pickup, which was a strap one, was wired straight on with the bridge pickup, so they were both permanently on when you chose them. So I mean, you know, the three-way switch was these two, all three, neck pickup on its own. So what I've done is, which I've never seen done before, you know my humbucker trick, where I can take the middle pickup of a strap, make a humbucker out of it. Well, what this does is, if you pull up the tone control, it wires one of the coils of the humbucker in series with this, giving you a humbucker. As I said, these two are both opposite winds, so one of these coils matches this one and one of these matches this one. So this one is going with the one that doesn't match in here in series to give you a humbucker. If you pull up the volume control, it uses the other coil, the one that doesn't match this one, so you get humbucker in the neck. So basically what you've got is kind of like my Schecter telly, but the other way around. So I was quite excited at this. That's like, but I did do a video yesterday. Well, I did one late on at night after I've been drinking my bucky, which I will probably put down there. I might even put it up there, which you can watch. I don't know whether I should really put it live, me playing Suzy Q on this last night. But so my Schecter, or like a normal HH telly with a push-pull to split the coils. A humbucker is a humbucker and a single coil is a single coil, right? So you can split a humbucker to get a single coil sound, but it's not 100% there. It's like 95% as good as a single coil, but it doesn't quite sound exactly like a single coil because it's got another pickup right next to it, sort of thing, which changes it a little bit. So it's not, whereas this one is, when you're in single coil mode, it's full on single coils, no humbuckery one. And when you turn them into humbuckers using half of this, it's a sort of wide rangey humbucker, so it's not really a proper humbucker. It's 95% a humbucker. Well, it is a humbucker, but you know, it doesn't sound like one of these pickups. So I thought that was quite interesting, and I've not seen it before. So you can't actually use this pickup on its own. It's only used to, half of it's used to combine with this to make a humbucker, and half of it's used to combine with this to make a humbucker. I've said humbucker an awful lot of times in that sentence. So that's the single coil. That's the humbucker. Sometimes I'll do that without the backing track. I did it a wee bit out of sync. So single coil on the bridge, humbucker on the bridge. A really fat humbucker actually. And then, so this is the neck pickup in single coil. And then in humbucker. And then, because I was going to just do this on one pot, but I decided to do it on both, and so you could get, this is both humbuckers. This is a humbucker in the bridge, single coil in the neck. And this is humbucker in the neck, single coil in the bridge. Take you on with the jam. OS2 pedal. So instead I'm going to go for the Joyo USD, which is my favourite one. Both in single coil. So, as I said, I did another video last night of me jamming a bit this longer. I'm already at 20 minutes. So, Trade Tuesday, it's going to have to be something pretty impressive to swap for this, I'm afraid. I'm kind of very tempted to swap it with one of my guitars, because it is the oldest guitar I've got, being 70, so it's older than me. So I'm going to put it at, it went from 71 to 76 in the Ibanez catalogue, not necessarily meaning that's exactly when I bought it, but I'm going to put it at 73, something like that. So 47 years old, I'm thinking, and it's just survived pretty well. The fretboard is pretty dirty. I think I'm going to get away without changing the frets. Try and nail the sound of having jumbo frets for the bottom three and for the top four. I don't know how you're ever going to copy that. It doesn't make it. I don't notice any difference when I'm playing it, apart from these ones need leveled. That's why I wasn't really up there. But that's just because I was keen on getting it going. I'll have another wee go at crowning them a little bit better. But my views on early Japanese guitars has changed a little bit. I do have maybe another one, my Flying V, the Arbiter Flying V's. Maybe it's a similar quality to this, and it's probably a similar sort of era. It's just when you think, I'm right into I've actually moved some of the guitars, so I do actually have, apart from that one, apart from Phil, they're all sort of 80s Japanese. They kind of knew what they were doing in the 70s as well. I don't think they're quite the same quality. It's a bit of they're copies at this time. As I was saying earlier on, in the Ibanez catalogue, I think it's 77 that they brought out the Iceman, which was an original design, and then came all the artists and all that. They sort of stopped copying just Fenders and Gibsons. Whereas this era, I'm not sure exactly how you find out which ones are good other than just by playing them. But this is a proper guitar. I have seen other Japanese guitars from this era that are not really good. I don't know what the original pickups were like. Another wee bit of guesswork. I think this might have had, when the original owner had it and decided the frets were too worn, they took the pickups out, because I wonder if maybe they put DiMarzios in it or Fender pickups, and they threw away the original ones, and then so the subsequent owner, the guy who did the partial refret, the guy who maybe cut out this hole, didn't come with pickups, so he's just used ones that he'd had, like just random pickups from another guitar. We're kind of back in the era when you couldn't just buy these things on eBay because eBay didn't exist. I noticed that it had strap single coils on it, and you can see that this is how he made it fit. So it's like the holes on it have been enlarged to fit the pole pieces, and bits have been hacksawed off. That's just to make it fit into the bridge position over whatever the pickup was he had. His way of getting round not taking a normal pickup was to use half a humbucker. It was too low powered to be of any use, which is quite interesting, because I would never have, I would never put a humbucker in the middle of a telly, but because I had to, I didn't want to ruin this. I liked the original scratch plate. It cleaned up really well. At some point it's got this sticker, actually quite a high quality sticker, came off it, and I just stuck it to the window, the mirror there. This was at some point here covering up the hole, and there's a wee bit sun faded there, and in below it you can see that there was some ink writing. It said Lion number 1, so I haven't mentioned that yet, but this guitar is called Lion number 1. I threw out the horrible tiger sticker, so I'm not sure about the Musicians Union sticker, whether it goes back on it or not. It looks kind of pretty cool. I think it's it definitely doesn't look like the shabby thing it was before. There's a few wee chips and stuff out it, but the actual guitar's in really good nick. It's got like a couple of, a wee bit of sort of Relican road wear, a wee bit of buckle rash in the back, but whoever had this and used it well, well enough to wear out the frets, looked after it. It wasn't like a cheapie that someone's been abusing and smashing up and stuff like that. Not at all. It's the dirty fingerboards from Play. So rock on, and I'll see if anyone wants to swap something for it. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what the value of this is. A few hundred anyway, I think. But it's awfully tempted to keep it. Also, because it's got the strange pickup combo, you know, with the sort of humbuckers made up of this, I don't have a telly that does that. I'm just justifying it to myself. I mean, it's like any person who's got like a few guitars knows exactly what I'm doing in my head here, saying I should really sell it, I should really trade it up for the page, but it's like I kind of like it. It's also the most fantastic colour. It doesn't really show up here. I'm going to take some photos outside. It's called Ivory in the catalogue, and by looking at the catalogue, it's not actually, you know, it's not white that's gone this colour. This is pretty much the original colour. And these things are, you know, poly coating on them so they don't fade the way most guitars do. There's a slight fade. No, actually, you can just see a slight light bit where that Musician's Union sticker was, but only if you hold it up to the light. Rock on!